And so we're live for the live trading recap here on Friday, the 8th of May. And I've had a pretty busy week. I've had a pretty busy schedule away from trading, so I've been able to do the live streams as frequently as I'd like. But I've been doing some trading nonetheless. Not some very good trading, but trading nonetheless. So we can see the market, the account is near its highs over the most recent period. So I will have to scroll back. Oh my word, what are we doing? I was able to figure out the issue I was having with my computer. It was it was a bit of a graphics card issue and a bit of a self-imposed bit of an issue that I should have been able to pick up on before. Okay, so trading views pause now because I've scrolled. It's waiting to gather that data, and as you can see over here on the right, prices aren't moving. So I believe this should have. So at one point we were up at let's see, we're at 5,300,000. This was a high watermark, up at 5,579,945.80, and that was on the 7th of May, which was yesterday. Interestingly enough, went through a period of drawdown from there. So let's have a look here. Let's get the old calc out. So we started the day at 5,334. 173.80. And it wasn't a particularly great day of trading, so had a pretty much break even. Had a winning trade there. Had a, what is that? Big losing trade right there. So the account grew to that 579. These are commissions. Big losing trade right there. Took us into the fours. Small break-even trade. Big losing trade again. So it's paying a very heavy price. Okay, winner. I think I had quite a few more losers. Again, big loser. So this was taking us into the 3 million now. Looking around at 3281. So paying a very heavy price right there. Oh no, that was in the 8th. So around here, started on the 8th, around the 3590.76. So let's do the maths here. 3590. 3590. 77,620. 77,6.20. So on the 7th, I lost 1,743,397.60. That was the loss suffered yesterday. It wasn't a particularly good loss. And had some big losing trades out of the gate. I thought about quitting trading, decided that because it was still early in the day, I'd continue to trade, and all I did was head further to the downside. Now, part of the reason that was the market actually went up very strongly, so I thought it would pull back. and make a move back to the upside, but that wasn't the case. Instead, what I did was I doubled my losses to almost 2 million. So that was not great. Wasn't a great feeling, and has been the case in the month of April. It seems that I have a big losing day, and that usually follows after that. I have a pretty good winning day, and today was no different. Usually I end up trading in Asia and London, and that seems to be the remedy. So let's have a look where we are. So we started on the 8th around the 3590, 3590, 77,620, isn't it? Yeah, 77,620. And the current balance today is up at 5564,344.20. Nice. 5564,344.20. So today made plus 1973,568. That was the reward for today. And it wasn't great trading. So let's have a look at some of the trades. I think I took a really bad silver trade. So I had an okay NQ trade. This silver trade was a terrible trade. Despite the P&L, it was a really bad trade. Really bad. Because the reason I consider it a really bad trade is because 780 units, which is just, it's far too much. Too many contracts right there, especially during Asia. A very low volatility period, low volume period. Well, not low volatility, low volume period. It was not great. Not great. Even though it worked out, it's terrible trading. So there was a risk there of me blowing up the account just off taking that risk. But it has worked out. And as sometimes the saying goes, fortune favors the brave. And that was the case today. So made that 792, and I think all of the trades today were actually winning trades. So made that 792, had a few commissions, picked up 277, more commissions, picked up the 174. So if we look at the time here, this was during Asia. This was at the start of New York. Picked up New York again, 174, 298, 500. Now, this should have been more, but it in fact worked out in my favor despite there being a bit of an issue. So only went in 180 contracts, so still short 60 contracts, should have been in 240. Market didn't come back and fill all of the contracts I had out there. So came up, hit the target. This point, the device I was using to trade, actually, the battery was very low. Needed to charge it. So I thought when I got filled, it would have cancelled those pending orders. Well, no, it did not. Prices came back, triggered those orders. I then added to those orders and ultimately got picked up 459. Now the ultimate target would have picked up 885, but I aggressively trailed and was stopped out in a brief pullback. The overall target would have been hit if I would have left it alone, and that's the reason why we're up at the 5564. So we're just a bit down from that 5579, which was the most recent high in terms of P&L, but we're not going to complain too much. So yeah, with the month of May, we're no longer trading gold. Now, if we look at our friends over at NQ, all-time high after all-time high after all-time high, it seems that 30,000 is within range. I couldn't find any setups during the New York session here. Had the market head to the upside, had this brief trade here during Asia, came to the market here during New York, just nothing to give me a setup to the long side. So just had to watch that go without me. Over on our friends at Silver, this is where the activity took place. So had a short trade here, and I took profits fairly quickly, which was the right thing, because ultimately I would have been stopped out if I would have held a position. So that would have worked out. Went short here, took profits far too early. The target to the downside, I'll be looking at around about this level down. Oh, OBS disconnecting. That's not good. That's not good. Oh, it's reconnected. So came down into this area, liked it for a buy, went long, didn't get all the contracts filled. That's where we picked up the target on the 180 contracts. Prices came back due to the pending orders sitting out there was filled, loaded up, added to the position as we came down into this area again. Had a fairly tight stop. Prices came up, trailed aggressively. The ultimate target was here at the 81,070, but I trailed, and as the market pulled back, I was stopped out. So stopped at around 89.05 rather than pick up that 81.70. Again, here we've potentially got a short. It wouldn't have gone to obviously its target, but certainly was 40 ticks or so on the table. Very conservative target would have been around that 835, 81.035. And we're seeing this move to the upside. So a little bit about the take profit there on the account for the day, picking up 1973,568. It certainly is tempting to try and make it a $2 million day. It certainly is tempting to try and pick up about 28k, but I suppose we just have to be disciplined and walk away. So after losing 1.7 million, picking up 1.9, the account is only up about maybe 500k on the month. So a lot of trading for not a lot of gains so far in the month. Well, it's still a 10% gain on the month. I shouldn't really complain, but we'll see. We'll ultimately see. So those are pretty much the recaps from yesterday and today. Again, next week, I'm not even sure of my schedule. May not be able to do many live streams, but I'll certainly keep you guys informed. And I think that pretty much covers everything. These markets are certainly interesting, especially our friends over at the NASDAQ. We are seeing all-time high after all-time high. Same on the ES. We're almost at 7.5k. And over on oil, we can see oil's as volatile as ever. During the US session and during the European session today, it's just it was an absolute chop fest here. Didn't get those directional moves. Oh, battery's running low. Only a $2 range. Only a $2-ish range during Europe and New York. Not great. Not great in this consolidation. Bitcoin. Oh. I would have thought Bitcoin would have followed the NASDAQ to the upside, but I guess not. Pretty decent range here on the old Bitcoin. Got the high, got the lows, got the highs. Trading each side of the range. Got the volume clearly defined. Very interesting instrument. SMH up 4%. Because why not? XRP, that was a bit more directional. Our XRP was looking interesting. See, XRP looks a lot more like our friends over at the NASDAQ. With Solana do. Oh wow. Interesting. Litecoin, interesting. It seems that it was just our friends over at the let's see what okay, Ethereum as well. Seems that the laggard was Bitcoin. Interesting. Very interesting. Won't make this video any longer than it needs to be. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching.